cannot see, ye moon, from my side of the plain, but I know you are above me, beyond my vantage. We fly above the clouds, but I see your light cast below on a puffy midnight ocean cloud. Gliding like a bird, we are the fastest, majestic machine. I wish I could see the moon. I work in here a lot at night. And when I'm working in here, sometimes I'll step outside. And when I step outside, if the moon is up, sometimes it just takes my breath away. I just look at it and I kind of gasp. It's like, oh my gosh, Now when I come back in, it's like, I don't want to reproduce that moon. I want to borrow that. I want to borrow some of the energy of that gasp, and figure out how to use it. The moon has become a very big element in my life. And one of my biggest fears is I don't want them to be seen, nor do I want to think about them as landscapes. A landscape to me is a resolved landing. This is a landscape. Here it is. Here we are at the Grand Canyon, or here we are at the ocean. And no, I want to borrow from those qualities and carry it to another place. One of the challenges of this whole process is that I want to create these moments where I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to be acting on the past as far as, well, I'll do that again. I don't want to repeat that scale. I want to be able to borrow from it if I need to. But my objective is not to use that, to repeat that scale, because it worked before. I didn't know it was going to be an ongoing series. I just couldn't stop looking at it. And I thought, what do I want to, how do I want to borrow it? And what I started to borrow was, at first, just the quality of light, recognizing that there's this magnificent sphere up there catching light from someplace else, and we get to see little pieces of it or the whole thing, and it's just, and it's a powerful secondary light source that it's like there's a cast shadow on the ground, and it's a blue-black shadow. And when I started seeing that, it's like that moonlight to me became as I trace the wires, it shows up in lots of pieces that I've made that weren't moon paintings, that weren't moon derived forms. Sometimes I'm on the surface of something, I'm working with the formal properties of the object. And I got paint, I got a brush, I got ink, I got whatever I'm using. Okay, but there's a moment where I can begin to see into that form. There's a moment where all of a sudden there's this revelatory moment where I'm seeing into the thing and I'm seeing its possibilities. Most of these are watercolors. Okay, I stretch the watercolor paper, so I soak it, the fibers expand. I tack it to a board with some gum tape, and as it dries, it sort of becomes almost like a drum head. Okay, and what that ensures me of is when I saturate that paper with a lot of water and paint, the paper doesn't buckle, because the paper's already got this tension going on. And in one of the ones that I stretched, the paper just split apart, had this split in the paper. The materials began to do something. And first I looked at it and I went, holy smokes, look, check that out. And then I thought, okay, how can I use that? Do I want to use that? Let's try to use that. Okay? So it's this constant search for that thing, for that dialogue. I would say that this body of work has a trajectory that's connected to my life. And as I continue to return to my studio and return to making these objects that borrow symbol systems in order to conjure some new force, some new form. I think all I can do is keep propelling and keep moving forward. I'm driven. I want to make, I want to leave behind a body of work that reflects my seriousness about being an art maker. I hope that time will be kind to me.